All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about a whole new way of thinking about team performance. We're going to look at a system that goes way beyond the usual surface level benefits to build an organization that's truly resilient and focused. So, yeah, let's dive in. So, let's just ask a really blunt question here. We've all seen the free coffee, the snacks in the break room, the gym memberships, and sure, they're nice to have, but are they really working? I mean, are they actually moving the needle on performance, or are they just ignoring the real issues your team is facing every day? And this leads us to what you could call the perk paradox. See, the idea here is that all these well-intentioned efforts, these wellness programs that are so popular, they might not be the fix we think they are. In fact, they might just be a band-aid on a much, much bigger problem. So what is that bigger problem? It's disengagement. This is the real issue. And the source material describes it perfectly as the silent anchor. Just think about that. It's heavy, you can't see it, and it's quietly holding your entire organization back, just dragging you down and stopping any real progress. Okay, so what does this drag actually look like in the real world? Because it's not just some vague feeling, right? It has real, tangible costs that are quietly bleeding a company dry. Let's break down exactly what those costs are. And here's just how specific these hidden drains are. First, you're just in this constant battle trying to keep your best people from leaving, while at the same time, you're struggling to bring in new talent. Then you've got this whole phenomenon of employees who have quietly quit. They show up, they do the bare minimum, but that spark, that drive, it's just gone. And because of that, huge strategic projects, like rolling out new AI, get completely stuck in the mud. And all the while, you've got stress and burnout just sucking the life and focus out of everyone, especially your frontline teams who, let's be honest, are almost always missed by these kinds of support programs. And after you see all those costs, this slide just lays it out perfectly. It shows the two very different ways to approach this. On one side, you have the usual programs, focused on perks with a really fuzzy return on investment, and they often miss the people who need help the most. But on the other side, there's a totally different system. It's called the high-performance engine, and it's all about building resilience, it's tied directly to business results, and, this is key, it's for everyone. So what in the world is this high-performance engine? Well, it's not just a fancier wellness program. It is a fundamentally different way of thinking about how your people and your business's success are connected. And here is the core idea. And honestly, it's a real game changer. What if self-care and business results weren't two separate things you had to balance? What if they were actually two sides of the very same coin? This model says that employee well-being isn't just a nice little perk, it's the actual fuel for peak business performance. So let's break down how you actually build this thing. It's got three main parts. The foundation is all about resilience and clarity, giving people the tools they need to handle pressure. The connector is strategic alignment, which hooks that individual strength directly into the company's biggest goals. And finally, the scope is universal reach. This is so important. It means it's for everybody, from the execs in the corner office all the way to the teams on the front lines. Now, the great thing is, this isn't just some abstract theory. There's a practical, step-by-step roadmap that any organization can actually follow. It's a structured way to build this engine right inside your own company. And here it is, the three-step plan. First up is discovery. You gotta figure out where you're starting from, Find out where those performance drains are actually happening. Second, custom design. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution. You build a plan that's tailored to your company's specific goals. And third, implement and measure. You roll it out, and you track the results against actual business metrics, not just vague feelings. Okay, let's talk about the bottom line. How does all of this stuff, resilience, clarity, self-care, how does it actually help the business? How does it show up on the P&L? Well, the logic here is actually super simple and direct, as you can see. When you build resilience and clarity in your people, you get better retention and you attract better talent. It's a clear line. When you increase their focus and engagement, you see higher productivity and better work. And when you create real strategic alignment, the whole team can adapt to change and adopt new tools way faster. Every single piece of the program is designed to drive a specific, measurable business outcome. So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds great, but what's it going to cost me? And this is where the model gets really, really interesting. It's all about rethinking how you invest in your team in the first place. This is a direct quote from the source material, and it's a pretty bold statement, right? High performance doesn't have to cost more. But what if it's true? What if you could actually do all of this without adding a single new item to your budget? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? It sounds way too good to be true. But this isn't about some kind of magic trick. It's about being way smarter and more strategic with the money and resources you already have. So here's the secret: reallocation. Look, you already have budgets for training, for benefits, for bonuses. The strategy here is to take a piece of those existing funds, the money you're spending on low impact perks, and redirect it into a focused system like this one, a system that's designed from the ground up to give you a much bigger and more measurable return on that investment. So, what's the potential additional cost to make this happen? It can literally be zero. This isn't about finding new money. It's about taking your current spending and transforming it from just a random collection of perks into a powerful, fine-tuned engine for high performance. And that really brings us to the final, most important question you have to ask yourself. Are you just managing a collection of perks, kind of hoping they keep people happy enough not to leave? Or are you actively, intentionally building a team of performers, a team that's resilient, focused, and aligned? Because let's face it, in today's world, the difference between those two things is the difference between just surviving and actually winning.